Welcome, students, to another class of Life Course and Aging. You are with me, Pastor Nosten Mkolimbo, and today is a day when we are going to listen to explanations on sociological, theoretical dimension of aging, and then we will be focusing on the theories that have met the necessary explanation on the sociological dimension of aging. When we say social or sociological, we are referring to human interaction. What happens to human interaction when other people are seeing their aging coming. So I have students here. The other one is William Piri is going to make a presentation on one theory, and Nune, another student, is also going to make a presentation, and Owen is also going to make another presentation on the same. We are also are sure that some students are on their way coming to this to attend this same class, and these students will also make various presentations. So, brothers and sisters, those that are listening from us online chapter, know for sure that presentations for this class will start soon. You students who are present here, who is going to make a presentation for to start with? Okay, we are going to start with Owen, and Owen is presenting on a theory he is going to mention on his own. Owen, welcome. Are you seeing the camera, Owen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can stand there and start presenting your materials.
How about if you can turn it so I should be facing?
Even so, don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, just here?
Yes, just there.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. This morning I'll take you through personal involvement fit theory. So, personal involvement fit theory is the degree to which individual involvement characteristics match. Personal characteristics may include an individual's biological or psychological needs, values, and even goals. It suggests that people have an innate need to fit their environments and to seek out environment that match their own characteristics. Van Genen said it focuses on the interaction between characteristics of the individual and the environment, whereby the individual not only influences his or her environment, but the environment also affects the individual. The adequacy of this fit between a person and the environment can affect the person's motivation, behavior, and overall mental and physical health. That is, if the fit is optimal, the individual's functioning may be facilitated. If it is unsuitable, the individual may experience maladaptation. For example, at developmental behavior, pediatrician may learn that a particular school environment is not providing much needed academic programming for an academic at-risk child. The clinician can intervene, the goal being to maximize the fit between the child's needs and the school's programming. The importance of personal involvement fit with parents can provide a useful rationale when a particular intervention is recommended. It also measures how much an individual's characteristics and values match the environment in which they operate. The environment space could be in an organization, workplace, or even in vocation. People anyway tend to either fit into the environment or seek environments that are a better fit for them. in terms of interest, values, and personality. Nobody wants to live in an environment in which they do not fit. In a personal environment fit analysis, the environmental characteristics consider the organizational, culture, job specifications, and also vocational norms. Thank you. This is all I have for you this morning.
We can ask him questions.
Any questions? Yeah. So where do you guys understand so that I can understand?
Brother Owen,
Yes, sir.
your presentation is about personal environment fit theory.
Yes, sir.
How is it closely related to aging?
To aging. Since people of age, they need a specific care, or I should say therapeutic treatment. So they need to be in their own environment whereby they can gain or they are able to be treated in that way.
In other words, you are saying that when people age,
Yes.
some environments
Are not suitable.
tend to be unsuitable.
Yes.
Right there. When the people are of age, some environments are not suitable for them.
Yes.
Can we help him come up with examples?
Too much noise in the environment, an environment which is full of noise. I think so it can be able to affect because of people cause.
I think you are right, Mr. Nune.
Yeah, like for example, his example,
Yes.
if someone of age is staying nearby Bandero, they'll be lacking sleep since it's a noisy place. Yes, so those guys, they need sleep and yeah, much time.
I have also developed that syndrome of hating noise.
Yeah.
And people that live with me, they know very well. And even when somebody is speaking to God in a loudest way, I find that very unfriendly. I think I'm aging, isn't it?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So, understand very well use a theory. They say environment fit theory. When people age, some environments tend to be unsuitable to them.
Yes.
And this is the principle. Probably look at this old woman who has no potable water at his house. You know, there are places whereby ladies have to go many kilometers to look for water. And this is an old lady, has no help, has no whatsoever. I think they need to be removed from that environment and be sent to where potable water is available. And break their legs as well. In addition to that, when people age, they need a lot of what? Medical facilities. So, in the villages, far remote, no good medical facilities. I have brought my uncle to my house because he is very sick. He cannot find a good hospital at the village. At his age, he is 74. He really needs to be closer to the hospitals. That is personal environmental fit field. When you are like this, you can fit anywhere. You can fit in Chinchi, you can fit in Kalonga, you can fit in Salima, you can fit in Chiguara. But when you are old, for sure, Maloena Sana Kalabu you need to be taken in a good environment. And this tells us that when you are living with the elderly people, you must know that the matter of Konogo, Siguli feed Wagogo. This environment is not fit for this old man. And because this environment is not fit, something needs to happen. Relocate that gogo into another area. environmental fit theory. I think you have captured the essence of this theory, isn't it? Can somebody suggest of any other example that explains better this theory? You remember he has explained this theory with examples. And that is exactly what we need. So, in social aging, that some people tend to lose interaction with their environment because of aging. Meaning that old age can influence people to behave in a manner that they relocate from their own communities. Relocation is done. That's a behavior. Why is it that people relocate? Relocation is a behavior influenced by elderly people. Relocation. Why? I do if you visit some locations, you will find that they are full of old people. My uncle, when he receives visitors, he says, meaning me. I like that. So, environment, when you see me, I am your lecturer. When you die, you will grow old. Then make sure that you in the leadership of this one, you can decide that the position. I will allow that. I will love that. Because the Malemba also Bible, you must respect your old people, like me. Muzan take from a Gary Morana, as soon as this one is. Did they look at another minute? If it's not me, check your relatives who are old, because I also have Zibalanga, Yinagaliso, and Saba, and name Sanazi. Kujamalire kujati makala kujaise. Sababu nusungira kalamba. You know better. Kujamalire sikunkota. De udwale kumene kukushipatala chili kudali kumasoka sewo kama pampu panopo ndeka duga kuduka tuluke kujeni kunchisi kuja mavuto njinga za moto sungatoka urudza tuluke apapo dzapite pamandapa papa dzapita kumene kwa ku masambo kujeni kwa masambo tenof mavuto kauka. So in times of stroke, you need to know that we are saying old age influences people to behave in a manner that they will relocate you one day. Whether you have ng'ombe, you have jani, you will live with them. Because kutawo ni 47, siko wetera ng'ombe. Ng'ombe uzazisiya kwa nugongo. Be prepared that we must plan to live according. We are discussing on the personal environmental fit theory. Says or suggests that people must leave their places to go to other places. Now, William, you are the second presenter. You are presenting on what? Okay, continue the theory. Come and stand on where your friend was standing. Brothers and sisters, William Peel now is presenting on continuity theory. So listen to him as he is presenting. William, welcome.
I'll be presenting on continuity theory. So continuity theory of normal aging states that all the adults will usually maintain the same activities, behaviors, and relationships as they did in their earlier years of life. So it means that what a person was doing while he was young will be the very same activities that will be doing as he grows old. According to this theory, all the adults try to maintain this continuity of lifestyles by adapting strategies that are connected to their past experiences. The continuity theory was formally proposed in 1979 by Robert Ashley in his article, Retirement and Leisure Participation. The continuity theory takes a life course perspective in which aging process is shaped by history, culture, and social construct. This means that as somebody is growing old, most of his life is influenced by culture, as well as history, as well as social interaction. As we interact, it means in one way or the other, we're learning different things as we age. So this theory has two elements of continuity. The continuity deals with the internal structure and the external structure of continuity as the two elements. So the internal structure, this tests the internal structure of an individual, such as personality, ideas, and beliefs that remain constant throughout the life course. Meaning, as somebody grows, he has the internal idea, something that you cannot change, certain beliefs, you cannot change beliefs, and the ideas. This means this provides the individual a way to make future decisions based on the internal foundation of the past. So, for example, a person with anger issues throughout their life is likely to get angrier as they get old. That means if somebody who was short-tempered at a young age, even if as he grows old, it's more about anger issues. Number two example, a devoted Christian since a young age is likely to continue practicing religion and going to the church when they got older, despite being fragile. So even if when you were young, you used to go to church daily, even if you got older, you find you still have that heart to go to church. So it means that those are internal things which the beliefs that you can't still like going to church. The number two, you have the external structure of continuity theory. The external structure of an individual, such as relationships and social roles, provide support for maintaining a stable, safe concept of lifestyle. So the external structure are things that we learn from the environment as we interact with people. These are the external structures. For example, a man who has always enjoyed reading poetry at a young age will continue doing this when he grows older. Number two example, a person who has been outgoing and has a large circle of friends will engage in outings at an older age. He or she won't be going to have parties out, but rather house gathering. For example, at a young age, if you have parties, as you go old, again you will still more have parties. But you want to go to parties, but you try to call people to make parties at your home. Because that has been something you are doing from outside the environment. Okay? So we have the key features of continuity theory. Number one feature is continuation of activities and relationships. This means that outgoing people who have always enjoyed spending time with friends and families are likely to maintain inactive group tasks and social gathering. So, continuation of activities, for example, as I said, if you have parties, you still have an advantage as you go to small parties. For example, the continuation of activities, for example, making friends. Those friends at your age will be the very same friends as you go old. Right? Number two feature is maintaining the same beliefs and thought patterns. An individual internal aspect can be relatively stable, but may also be subjected to adaptation. This is because internal continuity helps people to connect their past and maintain inner stability and peace. So maintaining beliefs. For example, you can say the Ngoni. If you tell a child that you are a Ngoni, and in Ngoni you have the elements that you must be and you must somebody who you should be taking up for. Somebody who should be taking meat, and it will be someone who you should have women, somebody who always love music. So those are the cornerstone of the Ngoni. So as somebody is growing old as well, we still have the very same beliefs that I'm Ngoni, I must drink, I must eat meat, I must love women. Okay? So those are the continuation of activities from a younger stage to an older stage. Number 3 feature is continuation of decision making or personal traits or characteristics. This means that people cope with difficulties and challenges using the very same mechanism they have used in the past. So, for example, if somebody who was lazy and when time to cultivate comes, says, I'm sick or I'm feeling stomach, as he grows old, he will still have the very same mechanism to use, say, I'm sick. Alright. So, lastly, we have the criticism of the theory. The first criticism is, the major criticism for the theory is its definition of normal aging. The theory distinguishes normal aging from pathological aging, neglecting the old adults with chronic illnesses. So this theory is criticized by its definition of normal aging. In other words, the theory does not include people who are aging because of their sicknesses. It tries to disregard them. It only regards people who are getting older but are not sick. So people are questioning it. They say if somebody is getting old, it means his or her immune system is also weak. So those people are supposed to be included, but this theory tries to disregard them. So that's the first criticism. The second criticism is the continuity theory fails to explain how social institutions influence people as they grow old. The social institutions can be family, school, and religion. Because we are talking about interaction, how people interact as they grow old. So this theory does not explain how school or family influence people as they grow old. Because in a family, there are some aspects where parents teach children as they grow old. It means they are trying to impart some knowledge. In school, we are learning different types on how we can handle ourselves. In churches, they are teaching people how they can live later in our societies. But the theory does not include those teachings and how they shape people as they grow. So this marks the end of my presentation. If there is any questions, yes.
Call for questions.
Yeah, any question? Yes. Zan.
Okay. Can you shed more light on the critics' domain of this theory?
Okay, I said the first one is saying the major criticism of the theory is its definition of normal aging. That's the main concept is normal aging. So this theory tries to regard those who age normally without sickness, disregarding those who are sick with chronic diseases. So the major thing here is like, as people age, it means their immune system again is weak. It means which is prone to diseases. So those people are not included. But is that true to say somebody is aging and is 4, 6 is not aging in a normal way? Which is not true. So that's the major criticism. Say no, those people who are sick must also be included as elders. And number 2, they're saying number 2 criticism, the continuity theory fails to explain how social institutions influence people as they grow old. So I said social institutions are like family, school, religion, and others. So I said in a family, parents teach their children how they can live, and in school as well, we learn different aspects of life, how we can handle ourselves. In churches, they teach how people we can live together in the community. So in other ways, these institutions try to impart good way on how people can live in a society. But these lessons, they are not included on how somebody is influenced as they go on. That's about the criticism.
Take note on the criticisms. There are 2 of them, isn't it? Did you mention 2?
Yes.
Take note of the criticisms of under this theory called continuity. Take note of the criticisms. Let me remind you that you are now in the 4th year. Let me remind you that you are now in the 4th year. So there is that mediocratic habit where people say, during or no, when the examination is close to them and they speak loudly. Sir, I have lost my notes. Sir. We are now in the third year. Those things are now over. Never again should they come in. You must make sure that when somebody is presenting, you jot down the notes. Then I'm saying, take note of the criticisms of this theory, and the theory stipulates that when you are a prostitute during the young age, you also try to rape people. When you don't wonder when you hear that, is this so when you were doing in the young age? Don't worry about sex. These things are Ariana, let's continue the theories. You still want to do it more. Not even knowing where the one could be, because you know so well. When you are a churchgoer, when you are a singer, you sing more when you are in the old age, even if you have no teeth or whatever, but you still sing like that. Thank you very much, Brother William. It has been a very good presentation. Another presenter who comes after William now, Mune. Yes, Mune. And after Mune, we have Zizwani. And after Zizwani, we have this other girl behind. Who are you? Yes, ma'am, sir. I gave a theory to everyone. If you don't have a theory, then it means you are planning for disaster. Guys, I don't want you to repeat this course again. You must have a theory. Why didn't I give you a theory? Okay. After you, then who comes? This other lady. You go Messe? Yes, Messe after this one. Yes, Mr. Nune, can you now take the stage, please?
Okay. Morning, class. Okay. My presentation is based on the Gerotranscendence theory. Gerotranscendence. Yeah.
Theory.
Okay. This is a theory which was developed by Dr. Lars Donistham at LARS, Dr. Lars Donistham, a Swedish sociologist, is the one who developed this theory. So, in this theory, Donistham introduces a new understanding of aging. In other words, gives another understanding of aging, saying that human development is a lifelong process continuing into old age, and that when optimized, in other words, when taken carefully, it can end up in a new perspective. He focuses on two phenomena, the old person and the aging process itself. Therefore, the theory describes the experience of growing old and also the characteristics of a normal and a positive old age. That's what the theory focuses on. So it has some primary assumptions, of which it includes, the first one which includes the theory is influenced by the values of the investigator and the society. In other words, the values of the person and also those of the society are the ones which influences this theory. The theory is also states that the prevailing way of doing things on aging can be what? Can be reversed. In other words, the other assumption is that the way of doing things as a person grows old can be what? Can change. The way you used to do maybe when you were young, and as you grow old, the person what? The person can be able to not to do the same way. That's also another assumption. Then he also mentions to say that the gerotranscendence research is predominantly influenced by positivity paradigms. Paradigms, this is a way of doing things. So which means that those positive ways of doing things are the ones which influences the Gerotranscendence research. So some of these are the effectiveness, productivity, and also rationalism. The rationalism is about the way when a person, when he encounters a problem, the way he reasons so that he can be able to solve that particular problem. So effectiveness, productivity, and rationalism are the things which also influences this theory. So we have some 3 dimensions of Gerotranscendence theory, in which the first one, okay, let me mention that. The first one is the experience of time and nature, referred to as cosmic level, and then a sense of self. That's also another dimension. Then also have personal and social relationships. Those are the 3 dimensions of Gerotranscendence theory. So let's go in details of these things. The cosmic level is about the experience of time and nature, as mentioned. So it is characterized by a person. In other words, an old person on this age has that decreased the fear of death about self. Maybe that he's going to die. Maybe that he's going to die. It decreases. In other words, he accepts that it's really his time he needs to go. So which means that I think so we can be able to agree that maybe because we are when here, but maybe the time will come when someone will die, you start to worry. But on this cosmic level, an old person, that fear is what is reduced. In other words, it decreases. Then the old person, there is also a changing sense of time. In other words, the time changes, characterized by less distinction between past and the present. What we mean is that since the person is old, he also experienced some of the changes in terms of the time. Maybe the things which he used to see when he was young and not the things which is able to experience when he is old. Since things come and then they go. Then they are comfortable with speaking things which they have passed, the mysteries of their lives. In other words, on this old age, a person is comfortable speaking the things which he has been able to experience when he was young, or maybe when he was a child, and all those things. Then we've got music and contact with nature become new means of communion and important sources of comfort and peace. What we mean is that music, sometimes a person can be able to have music as some of the things. Since some people, they might be able to learn to the old person, so which means that he might be able to spend listening maybe to some of the songs, and maybe even being able to interact with the nature. What I mean, like maybe he might be able to move, and maybe if there is a tree somewhere, a nearby tree, or maybe a river, can be able to go to that place and be able to just to have some sort of communion with that place. That's also a characteristic on this one. Then we've got childhood experiences become more alive and important to remember. In other words, the things which had to pass through when he was a child, that particular person is able to remember them very well. Then we have got the level of self as another dimension. So on this one, it is characterized by the elders continue to discover the new sides of themselves, as well as being able to define or interpret qualities in themselves. In other words, they begin to see, they begin to discover the new sides of themselves. What I mean is, some of the new things in their lives. Then another characteristic is a growing sense of, another one is life appears to make sense as a whole. What we mean is the chaos and the fans of earlier years, they become somewhat like since they are old and they are not able to experience some of the problems which they passed maybe when they were young. Some of the things they do what? They don't experience them. Maybe if there was someone for example, I can say, let me give an example, maybe it has some of the food, some of the things change. But on this one, these people, they do just focus on the life which is ahead of them, forgetting those past problems. That's also another characteristics. Then also there is a decreasing need to be center stage, but at the same time a greater struggle to maintain self-confidence. In other words, there is a decreasing need to be center stage. What we mean, they begin to stay on their own, thereby not having some sort of, instead of having self-confidence within themselves, it also begin to decrease. That's also another characteristics. Then we also have the level of personal and social relationships. This one, it assumes that the social interactions do not maintain the same value over the course of one's life, but change in value and importance. So it is characterized by there is a growing need for positive solitude. In other words, solitude is a state of loneliness. So which means that the level of personal and social relationships is that one where there is a growing need for a positive. When they are alone, they need to be alone in a place which is characterized by good things. Maybe I can just take the same example, not a place which is lonely and then it is noisy. No. That's a characteristic. Then we are saying that material assets become less important. In other words, they don't value the things which they attain when they become less important to them. Maybe maybe I can say, for example, they had the culture, they don't value them very much. That's also another characteristic. Then, with a growing sense of lifestyle ambiguity, elders become less prone to give advice as the wisdom figures. Okay, what I mean here is that since older people are considered to be the people whom when a person maybe needs to ask something, or maybe he wants to know something, he goes there. But on this level of personal and social relationships, the elders, since they are grown old, they cannot be able to still more give some sort of wisdom. So which means that they become less prone to give advice as the wisdom figures. That's what they mean. Okay, now we have got some of the strength of the theory. We've got the first one, it relates to real life experiences of other people. In other words, the things which the other people experience are the things which theory is able to relate. So the other strength is that it provides a new prospect on the developmental and situationships in the lives of the older people. In other words, some of the ideas which it has brought about are new things. For example, we can say maybe a growing sense like maybe be able to select maybe communion with the music and some of the things which become the things which these elders are able to contact to. In other words, like things like I said earlier, to say since they're old, they start to select some of the things which they can be able to come into contact, like maybe music and nature, some of the things which they can be able to consider to be the things which they can be able to interact with. That's also another strength. Then the theory shows the relevance of the old age experiences. In other words, it provides some of the important things a person as an older person can be able to do. For example, as I said, to say they are not able to fear maybe death, maybe because maybe they are growing old and then they start feeling to say, I can be able to die, will be able to die. That experience to them, it does not become like that. So some of the limitations of what the theory tells to provide the definition of gerotranscendence. As I mentioned earlier, I just mentioned, I tried to check for the definition, but according to the author himself, he did give the definition of the gerotranscendence. He just explained what the theory studied, and then he did not give the definition. Then another one, the last one, the theory explains the state of affair at individual level and does not include the broad social factors which might influence the aging experiences. In other words, to disregard the things, the social factors which are able to influence the aging experiences. That's also a limitation of the theory. That's all I had. There are questions.
He's calling for questions from you, the members of the team. Do you have any questions to ask the gentleman? His theory was very good. Very, very good. Because he's talking about the physical things that elderly people do when they get there. He says, as a common denominator, that the speech, when you are young as you are, there is a speech. Gerotranscendence deals with the speech, the info, or the enthusiastic that happens in your at young age. He says that speed of doing things in young age changes with when people get older. The speed. And then, you can run as fast as you can now. But when you get old, transcendence takes place. You feel like your legs are tied up. You cannot stretch the legs the way you used to be. And then that is the effect. That's physical aging, physical, sociological. You used to run, and then you are growing old, the legs are tired. The things you used to do in the past reduces. That is what we call gerotranscendence theory. Then you see that during the young age as you are, you don't want to die. Even when you are dating a woman, the issues of death are not part and parcel of your conservation. You would want to live and live and live and live forever till you see your grandchildren. But when you grow old, the love of life decreases. That is what he's saying. The love of life decreases. And then you no longer hate death. You beg on it. You beg on it. Elderly people, if you have ever lived with the elderly people, they don't fear death. And when they look around, they see that Aujana Marira, and Mulungu Yugoda Kusugiranchi, and Aneson Kanango Magita. The love that people have on the world, this world, extincts into thin air. Another simple English, vanishes into thin air. So when love extincts, what remains? Nothing for you. And then he also had another point whereby he says, material assets, talk of a car, talk of a cow, talk of whatsoever, goes, cattle. They even say, that size. They don't have even the teeth to eat their own chicken, to eat their own that size. That is what it was sociological. So, which means this that when people age, they don't see the way you are seen. Yeah. So that is a powerful theory. And the way how you have articulated this one is in a professional way that it has even, there are some scientific words he has been using to those that are minors in these studies, geological geriatrics. It talks about geriatrics, he says. So he was so special to see that this one has some strengths. And but you must know, if you forget everything, just know that the speed that we have decreases in old age. The speed, the info, the enthusiasms. Now you can run for a man and hug him and shook each other. But when you are old, my friend, even when you try to run for a man, you can end up falling to the ground because you don't have the energies. Let me tell you, when you are aging, even the nature of the brakes that God has put into the body, when it comes to urinating, to defecating, the brakes also become loose. You can urinate here. When you are urinating, sometimes you hear a voice, "Fa!" and then you end. But when you are aging, these are the things I need to teach you. When you are aging, you have aging. Then instead of urinating in a strong way, so there is no any other strength in aging. Guys, when you are aging and you are defecating in a flush toilet, then you can hear, "Oh!" But when you have aged, my friend, those things reduce. You can have the desires. Inside the desires to try to do things you used to do, but you cannot do. That's why no wonder people say old age is a disease. It's self. Therefore, I agree with his theory. Things change. That is all. Things change. In old age, things change. You don't, even the vision stops. Even the hearing stops. And then your statement will be, "Auja anafa kale, unali Bagiri anafa, kodine endo saliraje when Bagiri is dead." But as at now, Bagiri is alive. Then you say, "Ngarada fabi, ngarada inendi ndineja. Adingo adasiya nyumba, ine mbuzi. What's the mbuzi after? Zosara." Okay, now it's time to listen to another presenter. Thank you, Brother Hassan, for your presentation. Who is coming after him? Okay, this one, what is your theory? Hello? Subculture, yes, subculture theory. This one is coming to us to present on another theory called Subculture. Yes, this is one. Speak to us now. Are you seeing the camera? This one? Is the camera sees you? Yes. This one? Okay, start presenting.
I'm going to you about subculture theory. I'll explain it in brief. Subculture theory is focuses on let's start again. There is a growing awareness among many old people that they are not merely members of a social category, but are members of a social group with common problems and distinctive subculture. Or in another sense, it focuses on the shared community created by older people when they are excluded due to age, voluntarily or involuntarily, from participating in other groups. This only, according to how I understand it, it's like where you have a community going and like over 40, and the rest are within they're by the age of 30, 40, and they're the youth. So it gets to the point where these old people, voluntarily or involuntarily, amas just serve a group, amas gonna subtract on the group where they are now old, and whatever that is happening, it gets to the point where watakuona mana una alkandiza lazidatu ukamamuza kuja omuna alkandiza kusiti mamuza kudasewele ndana za stara mana kugamini wasazi mzani ndine wamukulu. I'm not supposed to be interviewed. So it's in that way where these old people voluntarily iolo akufuna kasakufuna komano they reach to that point where they are isolated from that group and they make a group. There's a Zawaja, the old people as well, because they share common things among them. So it's where Amakara group more they are isolated and Amakara Agwanga shares in his more than that Zawaja. Because you get to the point where Amakara and because Sangha only discusses them in 1 or 2000 because so it's about the common things that bring them together to make them into one group of older people. So they disengage from the society and develop new patterns of interaction with peers who share common backgrounds and interests. As I've already said, I'm just some Mugula and I'm For example, a group of consciousness may develop within such a group as AARP. AARP stands for American Association of Retired People. This organization provides access to hundreds of benefits that help them live their best life. You know how Kunja and to Amakarandima retirement homes, Amakarandima old houses. They are isolated from so Amakandima center our way many go Amasumbago to the older people. So that's what this means. So this it focuses around the issues specific on the elderly, like the Medicare or the donor form. The Medicare is a funding shortfall in a drug benefit offered by many Medicare prescriptions and plans. It's more like, I can put it like a problem faced by Antagura Guwata. I hope you're following me. So this Medicare or this donut hole focused on creating social and political pressure to fix these issues. Whether brought together by social or political interest or even geographical regions, elderly may find a strong venue of community within their group. It's like this problem, ya Medicare, Iguabuelesa and Hagura together to form a community where they can figure out how to solve that issue. So by the end of the day, they are isolating themselves. They can't even understand what Medicare is and they don't even know what that is. And and they are put maybe in a retirement home where they discuss a lot of things. But I believe some of you have seen my movies already. They play bingo, and they're taken to some place after some time. It's just a way of subculturing them. And putting them together to share one common thing. So that's all that I have. Do you have any questions? I suppose not. Thank you.
I think this is one as for the first time showed to us that she is indeed a living very soon. Somebody who has the skills to make good presentations as well. For your information, I was so keen, interested, listening attentively, and I think you were Sekuka Zeru Banobo. So sorry to say that you were Sekuka Zeru for 4th year. Aging is a developmental issue, so congratulations. Let us clap hands for her. I never expected her to speak like this. In fact, this one has done something or has articulated a serious point this morning. She says, Sabukacha, there is the
the bigger culture that we know concerning about the elderly people. But when the elderly people are numerous in one locality, they form a subculture which defends what is supposed to belong to the elderly people. That culture defends that element. The Akulu, we need to be respected. It's a subculture. You remember when you were in a class of mathematics, there was what you call, this is a subset of A. You remember those things? So it means that the bigger A was there, but there is an element which is related to A, and because of the characteristics that are similar to the bigger A, then we call this one a subculture. So the subculture there is there to defend the bigger culture. And when they are akulu themselves, they know that they fail so they form a subculture. I thought this is one would not be able to see that. Ironically, she has really surprised me. Brothers and sisters, when the people age, they can end up surprising you. No, I can even clap on my own for you. After this one, we have this other lady who is going also to make a presentation, and this is Mercy. Mercy, can you come up front here and make a presentation on your theory? Are you there on the camera?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us your theory and explain what it is.
Good morning.
Can you remove the cage so that you should be seen by yes, remove it. Whatever you are, the size of your hair. No, don't worry. Remove the cage. According to presentation skills, yes, don't worry. Yes, don't worry. That one is Mercy presenting to us. Yes, continue.
My theory is age stratification theory.
What is it?
Age stratification.
Stratification theory. What does age stratification theory say? Yes, ma'am.
This theory was developed by Matilda White and her associates in the 1970s. Age stratification is one of the theories that define late adulthood.
Talk slowly because people are listening for what you are presenting in. Okay.
Age stratification is a conceptual framework for exploring both how individuals stage over the life course and what meaning is given to age in a society. Age stratification is a system of conferring power and respect on certain age groups. For example, in some cultures, older adults are given power and respect, while in other cultures, the older people are looked down upon. So this, the power of older adults tend to be less on authority resources. For example, in some cultures, like traditional skills and knowledge, it's more like in a society or in a community where we have elders. The elders know more about some things. For example, let me say now we have in the late years, the elders had Okay, they know a lot about how we can find new ways of spreading it, and how we can cure cholera. Because they have knowledge. Because in the past years we also had cholera. Now we have cholera, so they know about it. At least they have knowledge on how they can handle it and find new ways of spreading it, and how to cure and yes, something like that. So on security of property rights, elders are given power in their properties because those are their properties, they belong to them. Despite them having children, sons, or daughters and stuff like that, because they are elders, they have, as long as they are alive, they have the power to own their own properties. Civil and political power nowadays we find that in maybe Malawi Parliament find that a lot of people are elders who are members of the Parliament. And control and distribution of resources. So elder women they're able to take care of the children in communities or in society, and men are usually one of the people who are responsible for distributing some of the resources in the community. So it's more like stratification is more about arrangement or classification of the age and distribution of power in respect to the elders. So the critics of age stratification, the theory is, the critics say that it neglects other forms of stratification that are arbitrary. For example, more influential that age, or more influential when combined with age and examined using intersectional lens. Yeah, that's why I asked. Thank you.
Okay, you may call for questions.
Yeah, any questions? No question? You want to have a question? No. Can I give you a
Okay, fine. We have been dealing with what we call social what?
Social dimension of aging, sociological.
And then this lady who is here, her name is Mercy, and then Mercy was talking about the age stratification theory. Yeah, she has the content, but she has been suffering from a problem, what we call stage fright disease. Simply because she was not so confident, it seems that the material that she has presented to us has just been found, probably recently. I don't know her problem or her challenge, but she wasn't confident. However, she had the material, the things in her. Well, actually, the issue is about cohorts. For example, how many of you students were born 1991? Nobody? 92? 93? Between 91 and 95? Between 95 and 2000? Between 2000. So you're 2000? How many are in 2000? Okay. You are a cohort, a special cohort. How many are 2001 to 2005?
I'm in Phoenix.
2005?
2001 to 2005.
1991.
Yes, how many are you? Yes, come in, madam.
I want to know it just 5 minutes.
Oh, when can you meet the madam?
It means something wrong.
Yes.
Simple.
Yeah.
Have your pen.
Okay, we continue. So those who were born in 2000, you are a cohort. That is what we mean. We say, those of you born in 2000, come here, then you go. You receive your blankets. Those of you who were born in 2003, come here. You go there, you only receive t-shirts. Those of you who were born in 2005, come here, you only receive more. That drink called more. Those of you born in 2008, between 2008 and 10, come here, they only give you a flower. What does that mean? It means age dictates different resources to be given to you. Clear?
Clear.
There are those that are needed for those that are very, very old, those that are needed for those that are lesser old, and so forth. That is what the society realized old people. So, you see that the more you get old, the more the societies make a decision for you. For example, you go to the feast, or where some people are celebrating, they will say, all the people first, and they give them the shivindi, the liver, things that are easy to chew. While those that say, second will be those 50 years, they know they cannot at least break the bones. And if there are some over 80, should there be there, you will see that they will only be given the yolk of the egg. It's easy to chew that one. So that is the stratification, differences. Different means what should we give them at their age? What should be given to these people because of their cohort? And this is also important to consider. Even when you are getting married, you must see what is the gap between me and my wife. Because we might end up being too old while she is too young. She will leave you and go to somebody who can satisfy her. So, brothers and sisters, this is the end of our presentation today, and I commend all of you who made the initiative to make a conclusion and the presentation today. Thank you very much. Let us clap hands for Nancy.